Population, us, hanging out with comedic thoughts that are useful and informative, where we get to set up how, where we get to set up our week. Jumping into how we all can get better is an algorithm for how information flies towards us. Is it from a doom scroll or something where you're engineering the information that's coming into our brain? I would say the super majority of people are willy-nilly with the brain inputs. Easiest way, so that way we can just go on with our day. Reading a book where we set an intention to look at words on a dead tree with what focus? Helping ourselves program our own brain. Now, this is the significantly comedic portion of life in the year 2025 is, will we attempt to program and prompt the hallucinations of AI, or are we going to just react? Are we going to dictate pace, tempo, and flow of information into our brain? Or are we going to go from random human to random human without really any reason or rhyme or reason? Or are we going to wait for a person to sing to us that secretly was trying to program our brain for a different thing? How do these things apply to top 10 credit tips? Because at the foundation for Duck 9 is three things. All of them entail these acronyms. Deeply understood credit knowledge, deeply understanding capital knowledge, which is really just digitally understanding Chinese knowledge that's thousands of years old. Number one is we're moving from a credit system to a debit system where none of the credit reporting rules really made any sense when they were exposed and made transparent, which is hilarious on 5 levels. Why? Because how does owing more money raise your FICO score? Old way. New way is it's a debit based system. It's a system that's not how much money do you owe, it's the positivity of your credits and debits not being solo credit. Now, that might have been confusing. Let me unconfuse you with this thing. A debit reporting system. That's it. It's a system where we are just trying to avoid debt. A system where we're not rewarded for having 2 car loans. The truest reward, what's up? How are you? Jude V, how are you? Clips credits. Credit as clips. I'm going to guess that's a gamer name. How are you? Welcome to this feed where I'm debiting, I'm in technical debt or fluff debt. What's fluff debt? Fluff debt is where he should be fluffier, but people haven't been brushing him, named Larry Chang. I'm Larry. I collect things on what they don't teach you in school. Is this stand-up comedy? Heck yeah, it is. Where we're going to get better. Point number 1 was the algorithm's changing. going from a credit system to a debit system. Jude V says, monster, monster, monster. Ver says, hi. Tom Brady says, hi back. The algorithm for YouTube, that's also changing. Are these top 10 tips within how our world is changing and how we can take advantage of future things that other people will conclude? Rowan, what's up? How are you? My dog is a puppy dog. He's both. He's a puppy and he's a dog. He's a puppy dog. In the same way that a puppy becomes a dog, our world is changing, and nothing has been made more apparent than algorithms. The simplest way I could say this, while also being funny, is this. How we program our own brains is very important, because if we're not aware of the psychological operation, or the psyop, against our brain, we're going to become a non-player character, as the kids would say these days. Instead of being a non-player character, the awareness that everybody is a non-player character by default, until we see the matrix, until we see the algorithm, until we see, hey, Larry Chang's comedy isn't just for laughs and giggles, it's also to interrupt us of the expected outcomes, which are now incredibly positive. That's how we connect on Wednesdays and Mondays, when we form a community of people getting better from one video to another video, which point number 1 reviewed is our credit system transitioning to a debit system. Number 2 is being able to write down our future feed. Dare I say a future friend feed. And if that's double entendre and forecasting friend feed, which was the original idea to Facebook, Friendster, and every company, which is, I need to know what my friends are up to that are improving in a positive light. That's why you guys who are subscribers are connecting here, is that this is a friendly fire hose feed of things that they don't teach you in school that help us focus on getting better from one video to another video. If you only watch one video twice, where maybe you've never watched one video twice, a review, a remix in your brain. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to get reps, positive repetitions on ways that we can get better on a Sunday. Methodologies of winning at YouTube, winning at Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, winning at arguing with Grok because it can't search timelines and can't see hashtags. I said a lot, and some of it might be confusing. Let me unconfuse you in a moment. As I brush my puppy. We're in a time where change is happening incredibly fast. We can either be analytical and gossip about the change, or we can change our own brain. Where, what if we, instead of being in paralysis analysis or compiling knowledge all the time, which is super easy to do because I go from video to video fascinated at new stuff that I can learn. And what if we took that fascination energy, and what if we took that brush energy and we brushed our own brain to give it more wrinkles, i.e., make it where we get smarter from video to video? Maybe not necessarily just getting smarter, because you're getting smarter just by hanging out here. Perhaps going and getting slightly more commercially viable, which is also top 10 credit tips, because everyone sees FICO score rules and they've seen those things 100 times. What's at the heart of it is baby entrepreneurship. What's at the root of it is a debit system that has in the past been invisible. What's an example of a debit system versus a credit system? A debit system is Bitcoin. A credit system is some vague algorithm that is trying to program you into being a debt slave, where you're always owing money and you're always thinking, oh, if I can just borrow more money for a new car, I would seem to be cool because now I've borrowed money for like a way nicer car. The debit system is where you pass the marshmallow test. What's the marshmallow test? It's being able to not eat that marshmallow, so that way we get 80 marshmallows and we can eat whatever number of marshmallows we want, versus, oh, give me one marshmallow. Oh, I need one more marshmallow. Oh my God, I'll do anything. I'll do anything. Give me one marshmallow. Ditto a dog who you can train because treats are its life reason. Being food motivated, where we're our own trainer, where we are our own AI coming inside of a world with AI. What are some actionable things that we can do in hanging out with Larry Chang and his channel, What They Don't Teach You in School? This is what we can do. It's awesome. And that is this. Before we work with AI, do we need to train our own brain? When AI gives us outputs, it's output in words and video, and allows us to hone and improve. Is this an improvement? I think so, because before he was fluffy, now he's super fluffy. Ditto training AI, an Asian intelligent Shih Tzu, which is becoming better by brushing our Shih Tzu. If our work and brain is our Shih Tzu, then we're getting better with each brush. We're getting better via each repetition. We're getting better from one stand-up comedy routine to another stand-up comedy routine. What kind of dog do you guys have? What kind of puppy do you guys have? Is it a cute puppy? Is it a puppy that ever pees inside? Why would you ever pee inside? We pee and poo outside. Why? Because we like to leave our mark outside. Repetitions and seeing specifics written down. When you have a specific thing written down and literally nailed to a wall, this allows for what to happen? It allows for you to realize that your brain is lying to you. Your brain lies to you and you fall for it every time. Is Lizzie Gold's book a sequel to Joe Dispenza's book, where breaking the habit of being yourself, where we become a new version by you and I here stepping towards a new destiny? You and I here using AI to write a book that we want to read. Imagine the confidence that you would have, along with the monetary reward, of being able to write a book that you would want to read, which is stepping towards a new destiny, because chapters 9 through 14 of Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, they're pretty good. It stops short of what can I do, which is using AI. That's us here in this session for stand-up comedy. Because it doesn't take money to make this money. In the old days, you'd have to hire a ghostwriter, pay them $3,000, load up all the edits, publish to Amazon, $3, $4, maybe $15,000. Now the cost is $0. Hey, you wanted to always write your own book. What if instead of the passion book that you want to write that's super innovative, we initially did a build in public book, which is stepping towards your new destiny? This is how it could work out. Is realizing that AI is our co-pilot, realizing that AI is how the algorithm changes, realizing that artificial intelligence is your brain in an exo brain, where we don't constantly armchair quarterback, oh, is AI eventually going to kill us? Plot spoiler, no, but even asking the question is not productive. Is another repetition of brushing Brady going to help us become better? Yes. When Brady is our brain and we keep trying to fluff up our brain. Is this also a credit tip? You betcha. Because the old system, it's not going to die super clearly. The steps towards the Roman Empire collapsing, uncertain. What is certain is we could improve ourselves. That's what's certain. Is the reward unclear after we input work? It's incredibly unclear, which is why some of your friends and my friends, we don't embark on that kind of work because, hey, I'm pretty okay right now. Why rock the boat? Or you say to yourselves, let's split off a personality, let's put on a cowboy hat, and let's explore the cowboy up nature of being enthusiastically over the top with how we attack living. I didn't always used to wear a cowboy hat, but I kind of become a new person when I put the cowboy hat on. Can you wear a cowboy hat in New York City? Heck yeah, you can wear a cowboy hat anywhere. What did my parents think when I wore this cowboy hat? At first, they thought, what a cool cowboy hat. At other times, they're like, why do you have to wear that cowboy hat? And what it is basically is like sitting crisscross applesauce, everyone put on your thinking cap. Because some people, they never think, and their thinking cap they don't know where it is. Or, because remember, it's imaginary, they don't even bother to put on an imaginary thinking cap. When we don't put on a brain, because it's bad, because now we can get a thinking cap in between our legs that's a supercomputer. That's our phone. Our phone is literally our thinking cap, or an opiate, or a porn device. I recommend that you use it as an external brain. I recommend you use it like you're training a puppy that's a better version of yourself. This is also the benefit of journaling. This is out of morning routines, been posted and talked about everywhere, which is meditation, journaling, silence. Let's you and I go through our first meditation. So sit comfortably. If you're multitasking, close those things. If you're listening to me in the background, this is now you in the foreground where we're going to do a multi-second meditation. Where are you guys going? Where are you guys going into your meditative space? This is us succeeding. In through the nose, out through the nose. Notice your nasal passages and which ones are slightly more clear. Is the left nasal passage clearer than the right? In through the nose, out through the nose. Are we meditating right now before we journal? Heck yeah, because together we're going to get better via flashing into this video, so that way we reconnect at what they don't teach you in school as we see new episodes dropping Wednesdays and Mondays. Let us connect. Meditative. Being able to lucid dream. Journaling. Being able to slide scale time. Ever been in an argument where you leave the argument and you're like, oh, I should have said this. That would have been perfect. That's what meditating and slide scale timing and journaling help you with. Because now you're able to gain perspective on, oh, I have to hang out with my first cousin. They're not my favorite. Or you hang out with your cousin, but then you journal. You ask things in the same way that top 10 tips for credit work like this. Your cousin currently not your favorite, but then you journal. Wouldn't it be great in the future when we have the perspective of a puppy? I have a puppy, my cousin has a puppy, and now we're both training our puppy as we train ourselves, because we're the first puppy that we need to train. Because show me the dog and I will show you what the owner's like, because your puppy isn't trained, because you're not training your brain prior to training your puppy. Let me give you an example. Hey, Brady, we're going to go for a walk and a poo soon. Can you not poo in the house? Oh, also, can we go say hi to super hot women that throw lunch offers and pool invites? And I promise to keep you cool, because I know going to a pool, you end up boiling and you really don't want to swim. See? That's how we train our puppy. Is we don't tell them, hey, get puppy daddy an invite to the pool and then you'll boil, right? That's rude. But us combining with, hey, Tom Brady, sit in the pocket and eyeball people to come pet you. And you can't just be like, oh, Brady, it's just women older than 22 and younger than 23. No, you have to be nice to everybody because now there's a collective karmic experience of connecting with everybody. It's not just, oh, we're going to just cold open choice. No, we're not going to left swipe people just because they're mean. Actually, we are. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I mean, if people are generally nice, Tom Brady's going to be, oh, a cute little puppy where we don't ruin a person's week by going, I don't want you to pet me because, like, meow, meow, meow. Yeah, we're not doing that. In fact, when people don't connect with Brady, they literally get sad. That's not good. But some people, when they've never pet a puppy before, they pet Brady. People are like, wow, he's so fluffy. He's so nice. How old is he? He's a puppy. He's a puppy. When I train my dog, I'm really doing what? I'm really just training myself. When I'm coding your credit reports, I'm not looking at your personal information. I'm looking at your ability to wait to spend money. I don't even want to know your real cell phone number or your credit data. Why? Because show me the spending habits and I will show you a person's credit report. Meaning, I'm hungry. Are you going to just spend 80 bucks on Uber Eats? Or are you going to just burn fat the way that your body can? Oh, I'm hypoglycemic. That's a really long and good word for you have no impulse control. Now, while this is actually financial advice, it's not medical advice because maybe you're glucose intolerant and you need to manage your blood sugar and you've never fasted before. But a money fast, everybody can get slightly better at managing their impulses to consume things that cost money. That's how we tie into training our dog to top 10 credit tips. Where we become so resourceful that we take a sign that's meant for little kids and we go to a conference where we promote credit tips or Duck 9 or your joke business that you started only because you want to try to get into college and you need something to boost your resume. You want to be able to boost your side activities. Nothing better than to do things that are incredibly resourceful. Nothing better than to realize that it literally takes no money to make money. Let's walk through some specifics so that way you can walk away from this video with not only credit tips, but also this. Every week, you come back stronger and more aggressive. That was a thank you. That was a thank you note. So, let's say we're at a hotel. We'll use Le Méridien as an example. It's inside the Bonvoy Hotel series. What we're doing is networking at a conference that costs $1,000 to $5,000. Bringing the dog is optional. Inviting me to the conference that you're targeting, that is also optional. I actually might come. in the comments. In the comments. Pick one of these, and I will give you the story of how people made money with no money and how you can do it too. Pick one. Pick one in the comments. You can pick it based on the lanyard. I will pick one until somebody else picks one. I'll pick the easiest one, or not the easiest one, the closest one. Austin Startup Week. Austin Startup Week. This is top 10 credit tips when you make money at a vacation that's free, you end up increasing your credit score. Why? Because more money in is more money, more problems, but in a good way. Money in solves your money out problem so long as you do this genius thing, which is disconnect your money in from your money out. So when you disconnect your money in from your money out, what you're doing is you're not doing the cliche problem of every dollar you touch that comes in, you've already spent it mentally. Ha 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 ha. That's actually not funny. When people get, oh, you got a $1,000 bonus check coming, some people spend that $1,000 5 times. Oh, I could buy a new baseball bat. Oh, I can buy myself a vacation. And then they're like, you know what? I'll spend more than 1,000 because I just made 1,000, and next week I'll make another couple 1,000s. That's incredibly stressful because you're connecting the money out before the money even comes in. This is how most people operate, which is how you can make $400,000 and end up spending $500,000 because you're spending at over 100% of what you make. Disconnecting the money in from the money out, where after this video, if I show you a way to make $2,000 while spending $0 on a workshop or spending $0, because it doesn't take money to make money. You take that $3,000 that you make and you just save it, or you buy Bitcoin. Why? Because you want to completely disconnect money in from money out. At this point, if you're not a subscriber, you might be asking and saying, oh, well, it takes money to make money. Or, oh, I need to buy and purchase and invest. The only investment right now is in rewatching this video with the brain of, oh my God, this is the most genius video I've ever watched. I'm going to need to rewatch it with the express purpose of making $3,000. Cheers. Bonus content. You're welcome. Being able to say thank you. Bonus content of going to a conference. No one there is actively thinking and asking using AI, hey, how do I get return on investment on money I already pushed out the door? When people don't ask ROI-based questions, that's huge in top 10 credit tips. Remember when I talked about us going from a credit system to a debit system? That's ROI as a flagship concept for debits and debits, because it doesn't take money to make money. There should just be credits, and credits as in a positive debit, not credit as in borrowing money in a credit-based fake US dollar system. This is why we have an inkling for, oh, stuff's messed up, or everything's bullshit, or there's fiat fraud. Taste your restaurant food lately? Kind of tastes mushy. It tastes like it's someone's idea of food versus truly tasting the chicken, truly tasting a French fry, because it's boiled in synthetic oil, seasoned with BS, and then pumped in with high fructose corn syrup to trick your tongue. We're not tricking anyone except our own brain into rewatching this genius video that is hilarious on a third watch. Why? Because now you'll be like, oh my God, everything that the Chinese guy said is true. I don't have any Chinese friends. I need Larry Chang as a virtual friend via YouTube videos. Setting an intention and asking AI, hey, is what Larry Chang said in video June 7 true? Can I make $3,000 helping other people get ROI at a conference? Yes. This is how. People spend 30, 40, 80 grand on a conference. Easy 80 grand. Easy 80. Do I make best friends with people that spent 80? Oh yeah. This is why. Hey, for next year, you're probably going to spend 80 again because you made more than 80, right? Yeah. What if you could get $8,000 in ROI before you spent the 80? Write that question down because it's so remedial, basic, and retarded that you're going to forget what it was. Because when you ask that question, which I'm not going to repeat, okay, you guys liked and subscribed, I will repeat it, and that is this. How are you going to get ROI for 8 of the $80,000? And if I help you get $8,000, will you give me 3? Not will you, the viewer, give me 3. I'm talking as if I'm you. What are we doing here? We're realizing how money works. What are we doing here? This is confusing. This is your brain understanding arithmetic truly after you've gone through applied math, trigonometry, calculus, differential equations. Why am I wearing this cowboy hat, running shit in Silicon Valley at the Stanford University? Pretty good school. Y Combinator, pretty good incubator. Institutional level. Because I hacked everything, which is, look, it's a flashing sign that says top 10 credit tips. What is the best credit tip that is unpublished that I know? Is that in order for somebody to give you $3,000, it's easy. You just need to find someone with an $8,000 problem. I already walked you through a person with $80,000 in problem. Right? 80. Which is this. They're going to spend 80. They're going to spend 80 next year, May 27 to 29, 2026. All I'm doing is just looking at the calendar. That's all I'm doing. Because this year, the May 28 to May 30 was biohacking. Next year, it's going to be beyond. Why does this work every time, 100% of the time, while being hilarious 100% of the time, while also being 100% truthful at 100.0%? Why are you not laughing right now? You're laughing because you haven't won yet. And then when you rewatch this video for a 5th time, you're going to be laughing your butt off because this video will be sitting at 96 views, whereas you'll have done half of those views. Okay, 96 is a little low. Let's say 350 total views. You and one buddy or gal pal or situationship This is how you do it. This is how I go on dates, by the way. Do I look like a baller who spends $500 on a date? Nope. Okay, so Bray's a boy dog, but I'll put a little female who's under 26 and older than 22. She'll sit on my lap and then we'll watch YouTube videos. First person to talk loses, meaning we're only going to watch this video. So you study buddy this video as if you're Larry Chang on a date, testing your date to see if her brain's broken. Because if her brain's broken, it's going to later affect my brain because we are the sum total of the 5 people that we date most often. Mahogany, where we hunt for $3,000 ourselves by hunting $8,000. How do most people do it? Oh, will somebody sponsor me? Oh, will somebody take charity on me because I need $3,000 to get to some music festival? Will you sponsor me? Like, what is this? Like jump rope-a-thon? No. It's competitive money making in the real world where there's actually no competition when you turn your brain on. This is how brain on works. You identify a gal pal or a buddy and you study buddy this video where first person to get distracted from this video is worth $3,000 means next you got to get another study buddy. If you don't have any friends, that's understandable. I will be your study buddy friend as we study buddy this video. It makes editing this video a little bit more palatable. It makes editing and rewatching this stuff super valuable because if you're editing this stuff, you know what I'm about to say almost as well as I know, which is why it's going to be $8,000. This is how. Would it be of value to you before you spend the $80,000 to get ROI for at least $8,000? Because the reason that people smash bought next year's May 27 to May 29 is because they got well over $80,000 by day number 1, 2, or 3, or by 3 weeks after the conference. We don't have to wait that long because AI lets us, 1, guesstimate the agenda, 2, speed up time, 3, look into the future and drag it back to the present. With those incredibly powerful things that are right now sitting between your legs, which is Tom Brady reading what kind of defense is the opponent going to play. What is the PQRST prompting that we are going to have to experience? Guess what? All this stuff, if we just asked it some super basic questions, which I'm going to repeat for a 5th or 6th time, which you still haven't written down. Oh, am I being harsh on you? No, I'm just super excited for your $3,000. It is this. What $8,000 problem are we going to solve with this video so that way after you solve the $8,000 problem, we get paid $3,000. No contract, just looking for $8,000. Hey, is this an $8,000 problem? Is it okay if I solve it? Well, I'm going to solve it anyway because you have an $8,000 problem. Hey, I solved this $8,000 problem. Can I have $3,000? And they'll be like, maybe. Rich people won't screw you because rich people are going to be like, here's a bigger problem. Magical stuff inside of top 10 credit tips, which is watching this video. What are some action steps? 1, I would email me and transcribe this video. 2, I would use AI to ask it, hey, will you summarize what this video was about and extrapolate some actions for me. Action step: arguing with Grok 3 and realizing that Larry Chang is the co-founder of South by South Lawn, where we realize that AI, it's not infallible, but it's us training AI as we run the joke franchise South by South Lawn. Why? Because problem. South by Southwest next year is in Austin, and Austin doesn't have a convention center. So it'll be massively decentralized. That franchise is in jeopardy. You know who's not in jeopardy? My dog. Because he's getting fluffed up. Look at all that hair. That franchise is in jeopardy. You want to get down? Oh, Brady, you're welcome. You're so fluffy. Can you see how fluffy he is? He's trying to show you. Look at how much work I did. Look at that. You can almost make a brand new dog. The reason that work matters is that most people, they're trying to get a guaranteed amount of payment for an uncertain level of work. Where, and this is also solving procrastination as well. I'm not going to do that until I get a guaranteed amount of work. Where when your brain isn't self-trained to be like, I'll rewatch this Larry Chang video. I trust that it'll be $3,000. That costs $0. Or any video, let's set the bar at $145 on an older video. Because this video is going to take some time to edit. Maybe your notes weren't so good. Blah, blah, blah. Take any video that says stand-up comedy and set an intention. Hey, I'm going to watch one stand-up comedy video and make $145. Jude V, good job. The Super Bowl lanyard. What a great question. So you just look for a stand-up comedy video and then try to make $145. Addressing Jude's Super Bowl lanyard. Thank you for having your brain on. February 7 is Sunday, 2026. Why does that calendar matter? Because that's actually layer 1 VC. The fact that you haven't written down layer 1 VC, calendar, and February 7 is okay, because this is what happens in videos. These things seem so basic, I don't need to write it down because I'll just remember it. But then when you recreate it on your own, you're like, oh yeah, what was step 1? Step 1 is layer 1 VC, the calendar, which is running an external API into Santa Clara, California. Why is it Santa Clara, California? Because other people will be visiting Santa Clara and they'll be confused as to why they have $200,000 in jeopardy. Why? Because it's their first Super Bowl. Why? Because they just started playing the Super Bowl when their team won. Their team won the NFC AFC championship late January. Therefore, people have not planned their hotel or housing. That's us together front-running the problems that these corporations are going to have in spending $800,000. That's how you can make $30,000, but let's set the bar low. Let's set it at $145. And that is this. Doing a pre-Super Bowl event in September during the OTAs, or August during OTAs. That's how we preview an annual trip to the Super Bowl. The games on Sunday, Monday through Saturday, are numerous parties. Are you going to do an 11-minute party during the week, Monday to Saturday, at Santa Clara, which is where the Super Bowl is being hosted? What you're doing there is making money on a $0 party in the hotel lobby of the Hyatt, of the Courtyard, of the Hilton Garden Inn, of the Menlo Park Rosewood Hotel, of the Sheraton Westin Palo Alto. These are all hotels right across the street from the Santa Clara 49ers football stadium. What you're doing with this 11-minute party is you're addressing the fact that some company spent 800 grand on Setzzzz AI. I would just call it the official Larry Chang after party, the official Larry Chang Super Bowl after party. Granted, you're probably going to need to at least invite me, but like, that's pretty easy to do. That's hunting software as a service problem. That's hunting AI as, hey, I've got this great AI company, but nobody knows about it. Meh. Well, that's your sponsor. And they don't pay you $3,000 until you get them $8,000 of savings or revenue. Money in, money out, money for you. You get a percentage of the savings. Enjoy rewatching a video that is Larry Chang stand-up comedy with the express intention of trying to make $145. Super interesting stand-up routine, right? You'll laugh your way towards a direct deposit. You'll laugh your way towards 6.15 Bitcoin. You will giggle snort because the way everyone else watches these videos is dipping in late, dipping out early, whereas you're going to be Philo, first in, last out. Philo, first into an old Larry Chang stand-up comedy video, last out, meaning you're going to get reps on it. And the rep that you're going to get is, hey, my goal is to make X amount of money, and I'm going to announce to the world I'm trying.